Right. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this run action at the beginning here. And you can see here that we have Fathom label. And when we spawn, for example, uh, the in touches began, we have this player action. I'm just going to delete that. Now, what we're going to do in this tutorial is we're going to spawn a circle. So in order to do this, we're going to say, we'll call this circle, and we'll make that equal to an SKShapeNode. Now, an SKShapeNode is different from an SKSpriteNode. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Swift, SpriteKit, and other items that you need to consider whenever you're making something. So what we're going to do is we're going to say function, okay, spawn circle, and we'll spawn the circle here. We'll say circle, okay, it's our SKShapeNode, is equal to SKShapeNode. And you can see we have circle of radius. Now this is going to be the size of the circle. All right, so we have a circle radius here, and we need to fill in other items here. So for example, circle.position is equal to CG point, and we'll say that this is a CG rect get mid x self.frame. And what self.frame is going to do is put it in the middle. And then we're going to go to CG rect get mid y, and we're going to go to self.frame as well. All right, so we'll just put it in the middle. Right now, it's not important where we put it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say circle dot fill color. Okay, is double equal or equal to. And we're going to say, and you can see here, by the way, fill color is a UI color. We'll make it equal to UI color dot orange color. Okay. And then let's just go to self.addChild, and we'll say we'll add the circle. And when we add in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this Fathom label because we don't need it here. We'll go to spawn circle. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, now let's look at this. It's circle, it's kind of neat. Let's take a look at this very, very closely. I know realize this is super close, but there's a stroke around it. Well, there's two things you can do. So let's go back to our circle here. Okay, I'm just going to type in circle dot stroke. Now you have stroke color, we have stroke shader here. Stroke color, if you make it equal to UI color dot orange color, well, the stroke color goes away. And if you want to, for example, let's just make this a different color. Let's make it blue color. And then let's go to circle dot glow width. Okay, and what's really cool about this is that if you don't know what it does, it just tells you below. It says the path is, if you don't want one, you can just add 0. But if you, let's add it to something like, let's add it to 5.0. All right, and you can always test to see if this works. And I highly recommend that you kind of just look at this here, and you'll see that, yeah, that's pretty big. So let's just put it back to 0.0 because we don't want one here. And if that's the case, you know, you can always leave this circle as blue color just in case it is there, right? And so if we look at that and we kind of zoom in here, it is still there. So let's just make stroke color dot orange color. Okay. So we now have our color here. Now 100 by 100 is way too big. And remember, radius is from the middle to the outside. So if you want the diameter, you have to kind of have it here. So we want something similar to this, okay? Now, here's something, so we now have a circle here. What happens if we wanted to, for example, take the circle and have our circle be the main player? Well, could we do everything we do with the SpriteKit node, Sprite node that we can do with a shape node? When I was developing this course, I tried to do that and it crashed the program. So there is a very simple and very common way of dealing with this here. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to use this update function here, and we'll get rid of that other function because it was from another tutorial and we don't need it here. We'll call this set position of circle to player. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll give the circle temporarily dot color or dot stroke color is equal to UI color dot and we'll give it like a weird color. Okay, I always like to give it a weird color when I'm testing things out here, and it will show exactly what I'm thinking here. Now we're going to go to circle dot position dot x is equal to, we're going to go to player dot position dot x. Okay, and what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to put the circle to the position of x, and then I'm going to copy and paste everything and just substitute y. Okay, and in this update we're going to go set position of circle to player. Let's take a look at that. So in the update function, remember the update is constantly being called. Okay, and you can see here that this that it's being set there, and it shouldn't be stroke color, it should be fill color. Let's run that one more time. All right, so we'll just take a look at that here, and you can see here whenever I move this around, the circle's following. Now, why this is important is because if you want to have a shape node and you want to have collisions, I tried to make it work with collisions and physics and all that, but it actually crashed the program. So oftentimes you work with your sprite node with your main objects here, and if you want to add in, let's say, another shape like a triangle or a circle or something like that, you kind of pin it to the SpriteKit node or the Sprite node, and you work with everything there. And then what you do is, if we, for example, say we'll keep all our circles together, but at the top of this we'll say player.alpha is equal to 0.0. So it's still there, but what's happening is that you can see that the circle there is being set up here. Now, no longer do we need this test color here, and sometimes you need to add in a test color. When I'm making games, the colors look ugly because I'm trying to make it work here. And you can see here that now we have a circle, and I think this actually looks pretty cool instead of a instead of a square. And I think that looks actually quite awesome. And one thing that you can do is all of the physics still work with the SK sprite node, but we're just simply adding in a circle. Now you could do this, or you could literally make a circle in Photoshop and bring it in. It's up to you. You don't have it. In this case, I like to think of it as $1 or 4 quarters. Whether you add in a circle from Photoshop or you manually draw a circle within SpriteKit, it's up to you. There are advantages and disadvantages to both. The major advantage to drawing a circle in SpriteKit is that you can change the color, etc. on the fly. And if you want to, let's say, add in something a little bit different other than a circle, then that's when you would pull in Photoshop. So it's up to you what you want to do. All right, this concludes the tutorial.